Hi, I'm Samuel von Siegel, Executive Director of the Schooner Pursuit Historical Society, Captain and owner of the Schooner Pursuit. And this is our story. When we first got to St. Augustine, we really didn't know what to expect. We had originally gone down there to look at a different vessel. And then we pulled into the Marine Center, and Amber saw her sitting there and asked if that was it. And I said, no, it's the other one. And she said, no, this is it. And we made arrangements to look at her, and we knew she was in rough shape. I mean, as you can see from the pics, it needs a lot of love. And we had the backers to actually help us work on it, but they're all up here in Pennsylvania. We figured that it would only take us about 6 months to get her worthy enough, have somebody do the work down there, but lo and behold, that just wasn't possible. She needs a good once over just to get her in the water to be towed. And that's pretty much at the stage that we're at right now. And then once we got topside on top of it to take a look, it was a mess. All the things that were being done to refit her after sitting for 5 years it was just slow going. The people we bought her off of run their own charter service down there in St. Augustine, so it really was just basically wasting away. And with the look of her, we didn't see how horrible it was. We just saw the potential in her, and with that, that was pretty much what got us to the point where we're at right now. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. She spoke to me on an ethereal level that I just can't explain or put into words. But she spoke to me. After seeing what shape she was in outside, we were warned about her inside, but we had high hopes because the previous owners, they spoke very, very highly of the woodwork. Apparently it's all hand-done cypress inside. The planks are mahogany, but all the wood in the shelves and the captain's quarters and the head is all cypress, even in the galley. We knew they had removed one of the bulkheads for whatever reason, and we know that it was all torn apart because exposed to the elements for 5 years. It's gonna do some damage, but a lot of the wood in there is still pretty good. So really, on the inside, it looks worse than it really is. Just so much potential for so much space. I mean, the countertops in there are marble with brass, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but I just could not get over the beauty of it. I mean, it walking in there, it felt like home. The pictures, they look absolutely horrifying, but the ship is actually pretty tight. Water that was in the bilge there only goes down about a foot, and then the rest of it's concrete for ballast. There's plenty of cabins in there. The amount of space is actually kind of overwhelming as far as how many people we can fit in there. I mean, she'll hold 14, we figure, which is pretty decent for a ship that size, considering you only really need between 4 and 6 to crew her. So after getting back from St. Augustine, we knew we had to do something. At this point, our financial backers had all left us, and we started putting the word out to places like Fort Mifflin for their Pirate Day and different events like that, because we had to get the word out somehow. We had made the decision to go from just pirate to Revolutionary War because, well, the history. And then at that point we were also looking up the history of the ship. And her name used to be Voyager. When she was in Mystic, Seaport, Connecticut, and she'd actually done some time down with the Pride of Baltimore 2 in Maryland, as well as we were getting pictures from the former owners and the original builder, and just stuff we could find off the internet. And at that point, some people had suggested we start doing a campaign, so we decided we were going to do some stuff with memes, and that worked to a point. And then we attracted some attention from La Echo de Mers, which is a pirate publication, and did an interview with them. And then we got invited to Marcus Hook by the Preservation Society there, and their Pirate Festival, which is here. And then throughout the year we did other events like New Year's Eve Party Con one year, where we were lucky enough to be able to fire our muskets off on New Year's, which was a lot of fun. And then this past year we started it off with a trip. 4 of us went down to Yorktown and did the Pirate Festival down there. And of course we got back from that and started doing more Revolutionary War stuff with the Morgan Log Home and different sites around the area. Pretty much started doing living history examples on life and times of what the privateers did. And we've got a fairly good group going, but we're not quite where we'd like to be just yet with all of that. I know, looking towards the horizon, we look at all the events we've done the past year and a half, and all the people we've taught stuff to, and the demonstrations that we've had, and the battles that we've taken part at, and some of the beautiful challenges, trying to find that nice balance to where we're not exhausting ourselves or suffering from heat exhaustion for an event because we're just having too much fun helping educate people. I'd like to do more movies. We were in one this past year called One Life to Give up in Setauket, New York. But all that's the stuff that we want to get done in the future, as well as more events like at Washington's Crossing. And of course, ultimately we want to get the Pursuit up here so we can finish her and get her back in the water and sail her along the Delaware. That's the real goal here. Yeah, we get asked a lot what we want to get out of this. Ultimately, we want to see the ship up here. That's our big goal. That's the hardest part we have right now, is raising the $30,000+ to get her into the water and towed and up here so that we can actually do what we need to do to make that living history museum a reality. So far, over the past year and a half, we've raised $1,600, maybe a little bit over. Most of that money has come from myself or from Amber, or in some cases a couple of guys in the crew. That's that's a big chunk of change right there. We're talking, we've raised ourselves just within the group, most of it from Amber and myself, over $50,000 just going for storage. It's right around $800 a month that we're kind of just throwing money someplace else to just basically have her stay away from us, and we could do much better. The plan is, once we get her up here, we can actually start giving tours while we're working on her, so that we can show people that, no, this is a tangible thing, you can touch it. We'll actually be able to do events, especially once we get the ship seaworthy again. We can go to places like Fort Mifflin during the siege and have cannons on board so that you get the black powder show from that. Cruises up and down the Delaware, giving the history of the area, going back and forth between Setauket, New York, and Fort Mifflin, which that run was actually done quite a number of times by privateers from Philadelphia, just to help out with the cause of liberty during the Revolutionary War. These are things that we want to do. These are things we want to see. But we need help to do it. It's getting to the point where it's desperate, and if we don't get the help, unfortunately, we're going to have to sell her. And I really don't want to do that, and none of us really want to do that. But I mean, you can do the math. Right around $800 a month for storage, times that by 12, and that adds up quick. And that's just in storage. I mean, we're always going to have the storage, but it'll be a little different once we get the museum and the charters, because then it'll be able to hopefully take care of itself. We've got a lot riding on this dream to actually be able to give back, to help educate, to give other vets something to do. There's a few of us involved, myself, our bosun, Nugget, he's an Army vet, our ship surgeon's a Navy vet, our quartermaster is also an Air Force vet. We can actually help put people back to work and give back to the community. I mean, we're talking old skills that don't have to be forgotten, that have been used for thousands and thousands of years, and especially in this area that we're in. Just the ties to our historic past in this region alone, we feel is definitely worth the sacrifice of doing what we can. So we're just asking for help, whether it be financially. If you can't do that, come contact us. We're always looking for volunteers to help us with the living history aspects. We're looking for volunteers to help us do marketing. We've got lots of social media things going on that we can't do it ourselves. We need the help. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me ramble on a bit about the pursuit and the historical society behind saving her. If you want to donate, please go to our GoFundMe at gofundme.com/Save the Schooner Pursuit. Thank you. God bless.